At 65, I've found myself stepping back from people, and here's why. Reaching this age brings profound shifts in how we perceive life, relationships, and the passage of time. For years, I was always the one who showed up for everyone, your friends, family, neighbors, so you name it. But over time, I realized not every connection deserves the energy it demands. At this stage, pulling back isn't about bitterness or resentment, it's about safeguarding my peace, valuing my time, and prioritizing what truly matters. In this video, I'll share the insights that led me to this choice here, from the increasing preciousness of time to the natural evolution of relationships and the joy I've discovered in solitude. If this resonates or even challenges your perspective, you're in the right place. Take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the Candle of Wisdom channel, where we explore how embracing these truths can lead to a simpler, more fulfilling life. Time feels more precious than ever at 65. One truth becomes undeniable: time is no longer infinite. When we were younger, it seemed limitless. We wasted hours on empty conversations, unfulfilling relationships, or obligations born of guilt. Now, every moment is a gift, and I'm no longer willing to waste it. This awareness doesn't come from fear, it comes from experience. Time is no longer just numbers on a clock, it guides how I live. Every sunrise feels more vivid, every meaningful conversation deeper, and even quiet moments, like sipping coffee or walking in the park, carry significance I once overlooked. Not everything or everyone deserves my attention. This isn't selfish, it's essential. As we age, we must ask, does this bring joy? Does it align with my values? If not, I let it go. Time spent on things that don't matter steals from what does. I've simplified my relationships. I no longer say yes to every invitation or engage in shallow small talk just to be polite. Instead, I seek genuine connections where I can be myself and where my time is valued. A meaningful conversation over tea outweighs a crowded gathering where I feel invisible. This isn't about isolation, it's about honoring my life. Time has become a trusted companion, urging me to slow down, savor moments, and release what no longer serves me. If you relate, know you're not alone. There's no rule book for living this stage of life here. Focus on what matters. Protect your time fiercely, filling it with purpose, peace, and those who uplift you. When you do, life becomes richer and more meaningful. Relationships change, and so do we. At 65, I've accepted a hard truth: not every relationship lasts a lifetime, and that's okay. It's not failure, it's life moving forward. In my youth, I believed relationships required constant maintenance. Yeah, I attended every event, remembered every birthday, and reached out even when drained. I thought being there for everyone made me a good friend, neighbor, or family member. Over time, I learned not all our relationships are equal. Some nurture, others deplete. This realization came slowly, through experiences both beautiful and painful. I've been hurt by those I trusted, disappointed by those I cared for, and distanced from family whose paths diverged. Initially, I took these personally, asking myself what I'd done wrong. Now, I understand that people change, I change, and sometimes the kindest act is letting go. The most liberating lesson is to invest in relationships that are mutual. Healthy connections aren't one-sided, they balance support, listening, and light. My circle has shrunk, but what remains is richer. Friends and family who truly matter understand me, accept me, and bring joy. I no longer expend energy holding on to connections that no longer align with who I am. Nostalgia may arise, but I feel gratitude for those relationships, so they shaped me, taught me lessons, and created cherished memories. Trust becomes more complex at 65. It's fragile, yet vital. I've learned not to give it lightly. Broken trust leaves scars that sometimes take a lifetime to heal. In youth, I trusted easily, believing in the goodness of people. That openness led to many rewarding relationships, but also heartbreak. Over time, I've been let down of friends valuing what I could do for them, family creating distance, colleagues prioritizing their own gain. These experiences reshaped how I approach trust. They didn't make me bitter, but cautious. Now, I first consider motives before fully opening my heart. Trust also means trusting myself. Learning to listen to my instincts has been transformative. If something feels off, I no longer dismiss it. I've walked away from toxic relationships, even long-standing ones, knowing protecting my peace is worth a difficult choice. Trust is possible, but it's given gradually to those who demonstrate consistency, kindness, and respect. Being guarded isn't closing off, it's valuing oneself, and at this stage of life, that's vital. The world has changed. Life at 65 feels faster, busier, and more tech-driven. Yet, something had been lost: warmth, simplicity, and genuine connection. I grew up when neighbors were friends, families gathered without obligation, and time spent together felt meaningful. Today, conversations are rushed, family interactions limited, and screens often replace presence. Technology helps, but it also creates distance. Notifications and endless updates can overwhelm, making the world feel louder and more isolating. This isn't about resisting change here, it's about choosing simplicity. I step back from the noise, focusing on heartfelt interactions, meaningful relationships, and the quiet joy of shared moments. Choosing simplicity doesn't mean giving up, it means preserving what's authentic. Solitude isn't loneliness. Loneliness is emptiness. Solitude is chosen, a space for peace, reflection, and renewal. In solitude, I find clarity, appreciating small joys like tea on the porch, the rustle of trees, or sunsets. These moments enrich life, offering comfort and gratitude. Solitude strengthens my relationships, so it allows me to be fully present with loved ones and to prioritize meaningful connections over obligations. I've learned my value comes from within, not from social activity or calendar fullness. Solitude is a gift, offering balance and fulfillment, not isolation. Avoiding people now is about preserving peace. I've realized not every connection is worth maintaining and not every obligation deserves my time or energy. For years, I tried to be constantly available, giving joy but also leaving myself drained. Now, I focus on a smaller, deeper circle of relationships rooted in mutual respect, understanding, and ease. Negativity, drama, and constant complaints no longer have space in my life. Prioritizing well-being means saying no and choosing solitude over empty company. Avoiding people isn't giving up on humanity, it's valuing oneself. This experience is shared. Many people in their 60s, 70s, and beyond make similar choices. It isn't about pushing others away, it's about peace, clarity, and meaningful living. Pulling back isn't longer, it's evolution, creating space for relationships that truly nourish. At this stage, life isn't about the number of people around you, it's about the quality of connections. Embracing this chapter of life is about beginnings, not endings. At 65, life is less about proving oneself and more about living authentically. Simplicity brings freedom, the ability to say no to what drains us and yes to what brings joy. Reflection honors the past while focusing on the present, and there's excitement in still having time to learn, create, and grow. This chapter is about gratitude, quiet pleasures, and intentional living. In closing, avoiding people at this stage isn't about shutting the world out, it's about protecting hard-earned peace. Life at 65 allows focus on meaningful relationships, joyful moments, and inner calm. It's not about bitterness, it's about living intentionally. By releasing toxic connections, unnecessary obligations, and external pressures, we embrace simplicity, authenticity, and gratitude. Life's richness comes from the quality of our days, not the quantity of commitments. This chapter is an opportunity to live boldly, love deeply, and savor every moment.